For yesterday's discussion, let us start implementing some code for our HRM project. We have to create some utility classes, library classes, and test case classes with appropriate methods. So let me start from the very scratch. At first, I'm creating a new Java project with the name RNHRM. For this Java project, I'm associating the Selenium API. Associated Selenium. Then here we have to create some user-defined packages. The very first one, utils, to maintain all common utility classes. I'm creating another package with the name, my project name, rnhrm.library. Here I'm creating another package with the name to maintain my test cases, my project name dot test cases. Right. At first, I'm creating the first utility class, maybe with the name application utilities, shortly app utils. What is the purpose of creating this app utils class? Some reusable function for launching application, closing application will be maintained in this class. Okay, we are storing some reusable components, launching application, closing application kind of functions here. Do you want me to insert the main method or not here? I'm creating a class app utils to store some reusable components. Do you want me to insert the main method or not required?
Not required.
Yes, required.
Required or not required?
Required.
Not required, sir.
It's not required. Why we are inserting a main method in a Java class? Why we insert a main method in a Java class?
Execution starts from that particular.
Whenever you run a Java class, your Java class execution starts from the main. Okay. My question, are we going to run the app utils class? Do we execute app utils class?
No, sir.
So we don't have the main.
We don't
We are
run
calling.
utility classes, we don't run library classes. We run only test cases. So utility classes, library classes, just to store reusable components. From the test cases, we are going to call these reusable methods. Only test case classes needs a main method. Utility classes, library classes do not require the main method. Because at any point of time, we are not going to execute app utils class, utility classes, also library classes. Only test cases we run. Right, main method is not required here. Then I want to create a function to invoke any given application. You want me to make it as the function as public or private?
Public, sir.
Why? Why we have to make it as public? Why we have to make this method as public method?
Because we'll be calling it from other classes.
We are going to call this function from other classes, so we have to make it as public. We are going to call the function from other classes of the other packages. Yesterday I told you, if there is no public keyword used to while creating a method, the scope of the method limited to the current package. If you want to access the method in other package classes, you have to make it as public. Public. Right. You want me to make this method, I'm creating a function to launch any given application. You want me to make it a static method or a non-static method?
Non-static.
I'm creating a function. I'm creating a function to invoke any application.
Static, sir.
Static.
All utility class functions should be of type static because they are not specific to one application or one object. Static. Check out the yesterday notes I given the second comparison. Static versus non-static. What is the second comparison I have given? A common utility functions. A function created not for a particular object. I can use it for any object, any application. Should be of type static. They are common for all. I go with void. Just I am creating a function to invoke an application. The function will not return any value. I'm giving a name for the function, say for example, launch app. Is my function name, launch the application. Some functions require input data, some functions do not require input data. You answer me, what is the input data required to launch an application? I want to call this function to invoke given application, maybe Facebook or Gmail or RNHLM or Primus Bank. What is the input it required?
Application URL, sir.
Application URL. Shortly, URL, one argument required, right? Here we implement the code. I want to invoke my application, say in a browser like, for example, Chrome browser. I'm copying the Chrome driver.exe here. Here I'll implement the code. The same code, whatever we used to build for invoking an application. The system.set property, WebDriver dot Chrome.driver, the Chrome.driver.exe file. Then here I am creating a WebDriver object. Chrome driver object of type WebDriver. Chrome driver, then I want to delete all of the cookies. I want to maximize the browser window. I want to make Selenium to wait implicitly 20 seconds to identify the element before throwing no such element exception. And get this URL. So you know how to develop this code. This time we kept this code inside a reusable method, launch app. So whenever the user, we call the launch app, we must supply the URL to be launched. Hope the first function is understood, right? Then I want to develop one more function to close an application. All utility class functions should be of type static. You please observe, do you have any particular application information available here? I can use it for any project. The project URL we are going to supply while calling the method. I am creating one more function to close the application. So what is the code we have to build here? What is the code we have to write here?
Driver close.
What happened? We are not accessing any methods of the WebDriver object. Reason why? In the second method, we are not able to access any methods of the WebDriver object. Why? Why class name? All methods are non-static method. Non-static methods can be accessed only by creating an object for the class. Here the object name for the Chrome driver class is driver. But we are not able to access the methods of the WebDriver object. Let me explain this. To explain this, just I'm creating one more temporary class. I'm creating a method, either static or not static, whatever. Method 1, like launch application what we have created. Here I am declaring some variable of data type string URL. I'm storing some data here. I'm using that variable here, URL. I'm creating one more method. Method 2. Clearly observe here, I'm trying to access the same variable URL in the second method. What happened? It is showing some error. I declared a variable inside a method 1. This variable I am trying to access in the other method of the same class. We are not able to use it. Second method is not recognizing or understanding what is this URL. It is asking you declare it again. Create a local variable URL again. Because it is not understanding what is this URL. Why it is not understanding what is this URL?
So the above URL means that in that method only we can use.
Where is the variable declared? You are right.
In the method 1, we declared the variable like URL.
Here a variable is declared inside the method 1. Any variable is declared, any object is declared inside a method. Such variables, such objects are called local objects or local variables. The maximum life of that variable is limited to the function where it is created. You cannot access them in the other methods of the class. If a variable or an object is declared inside a function, they are called local variables. The scope of the local variable is limited to the function where it is created. You cannot avail them in the other methods. If really you want to use a variable or an object among multiple functions of a class, you should not declare inside a method level, you have to declare at class level. Class level variables are called global variables. Method level variables are called local variables. You see now, this declaration part, I am moving it to the class level. I move it to the class level. Good to understand other concept here. Still it is showing, the two methods it is showing an error, right? In the two methods it is showing an error. Check out the last comparison I given yesterday between static and non-static. I have given 4 comparisons between static and non-static. Check out the last one. Is any online team member read the last comparison I given?
Yes, sir. A static method can access only other static members of the class.
Right.
And
This
a
is a
non-static
static method. This is also a static method. A static method can access only other static members of the class. This variable is of type static or non-static. Did you use any static keyword to declare it? Now I made it a static. You please observe the error was removed. A static method can access only other static members of the class. A non-static method can access both static and non-static members of the class. If a variable declared inside a method, they are called local variables. The life of the local variable is limited to the function where it is created. Really, if you want to use a variable among multiple functions of a class, we have to declare at class level. Class level variables are called global variables. Method level variables are called local variables. Right. Why I have to make it as static? Because a static method can access only, see, these variables also again 2 types. A class will have variables and methods. Any Java class will have some variables and methods. The variables and methods are together called class members. These variables and methods are of two types, static and non-static. Not only methods, variables also of two types, static and non-static. I'll say this is static variable. I'm declaring one more variable, whatever it may be, company equal to something, say for example QH. To answer me, this variable is of type static or non-static?
Non-static.
There is no static keyword is used to declare a variable. It is of type non-static. A static method can access only other static members of the class. Try to access the company here. It is showing an error. Because this is of type non-static, but a static method can access only other static members of the class. If I make this also as static, it can be accessible. Now, a non-static method can access both static and non-static members of the class. This is a static variable I am accessing here. It's a non-static method. Non-static method can access both static and non-static members of the class. We are accessing the static global variable here. Here I am accessing the non-static global variable. A non-static method can access both static and non-static variables of the class, whereas a static method can access only other static members of the class. Here I've explained the topic like what is a local variable, what is a global variable. Make a note of it. Scope of variables. Scope of variables. Take the notes in this way. Based on the scope, variables can be segregated into local variables and global variables. Variables can be segregated into local variables and global variables. Variables can be segregated into local variables and global variables. Right, take subheading local variables. Local variables. So what do you mean by local variables?
Inside the method, we can call it local.
If a variable declared inside a function, inside a method, they are called local variables. Make a note of it. Local variables. Variables declared inside a method, are called local variables. Variables declared inside a method are called local variables. Continuation. These local variables can be accessed. Only within that method. The local variables can be available only within that method. See, first I declared a variable URL inside the method. I am trying to access it in the other method, I cannot, because its life limited to only the method where it is defined. Previously, while writing the code of application utility, same problem we are getting. Where I have declared the WebDriver object? Inside the launch app method. Same WebDriver object I am trying to use in the second method, which is defined inside one method. its life limited to only the method one, launch app. Hence, we are not able to use it in the other methods. Got it? If you declare a variable inside a method, its life limited to only the method. Hence, you are not able to use it in the other methods. If really I want to use it in among all methods of the class, where I have to declare? The WebDriver object I have to declare at class level so that I can use in all of the methods. Let's see this. WebDriver driver. I have declared a variable of type WebDriver inside the method one. Hence, I am not able to use in the other method. Now see what I am doing. The data type is WebDriver, like string, reference type. The variable name is driver. WebDriver, driver. You tell me now this variable is of type static or non static?
Not static, sir.
Non-static. There is no static keyword is used to define it. But here I have static methods. A static method can access only other static members of the class. So I have to make it as static. Now, already I declared it. You no need to define it again. Directly you use it. The variable available at class level you use here. Now the driver object available at class level, I'm able to use it now. Previously the driver object defined inside a function, hence in the other functions you are not able to use it. Now I move the driver object to the class level. Among all functions of the class, you can able to make use of it. Have you understood this? Right. Now, this variable, can I use in the other packages? If I want to use this, call this from other packages, I have to make it as public. So whatever the rules applicable for the method, same rules are applicable for even variables. Take it global variables. Global variables. The variables declared at class level. Variables declared at class level are called global variables. Variables declared at class level are called global variables. Variables declared at class level are called global variables. Continuation. The global variables can be accessed Global variables can be accessed. Global variables can be accessed among all methods of the class. Global variables can be accessed among all methods of the class. Global variables can be accessible among all methods of the class. A simple method level variables are called local variables. Class level variables are called global variables. Right. See here, now I declare the WebDriver object at class level. So by mistake, if you write this code once again like this, you tell me what happens. Already you declared a variable of WebDriver, of type WebDriver at class level. Maybe again you have redeclared here, right? We are redeclaring here. Again, web driver equal to web driver. What happens now? At first, you made the scope of the variable to global, class level. Again, you redefine the scope of the variable to the method level. Hope you understand what I said. Here it works, but when running the code, you get null pointer exception. After running the code, I'll explain this. Do not declare once again here. I'm removing it here. I'll write the code. Again, I'll put like this. I'll run the code. You declared already at class level. Do not redefine at the method level. Okay, now here I am writing the code. Sorry. Driver dot flows. Here I have declared, we have created two static methods. One for launching the application, other one for closing the application. Now, I'm going to my test cases package. Let's say we are creating the first two test case for RNHRM project. Admin login test with valid data, something like this. Definitely at test case level, we have to implement the main because we are going to run the test case classes. Now we are implementing the test case, admin login test case with valid data. What is the first step? Launch the application. Already we have created a class, app utils, that contain a static method. How to call a static method of a class? Class name dot method name. I'm calling the launch application. In the test case level, I am not rewriting the code once again. We made a reusable component to launch the application. Just I'm calling it by supplying my application URL. Let me run this code. Now, I want to even call the close application. App utils dot close application. This will launch the application, then close the application. Now we have two steps ready. Any test case to launch application, close application, we have the code ready now. Let's run this once again. My code will launch the application, then close the application. Launching and closing the application. Hereafter, in any test case, you no need to rewrite the code for launching the application, closing application. You can make use of this function. We can call the functions. I'm going to this app utils class. Already WebDriver object declared at class level. I'm redefining at method level. Let me run this code. Let me run the test case now. The first function successfully executed. Launch application. See, we are getting an exception, null point exception. This is what I said. At line number 28. Here. Here it is not understanding once again what is this driver. Because agreed it is declared at class level first. Implemented the code. But again you are redefining at method level. So what happened? Again you are making the scope of the variable to the method level. First you have declared at class level. Again you have redeclared at method level. Which command will be executed lastly? First this line is executed. Later this line is executed. While executing this statement, you redefine the scope of the WebDriver object to again local. So meaning after running this code is running successfully. Now you are calling this function driver.close. Again, it is not understanding what is the driver pointing null. We are getting null pointer exception. This is one of the commonly doing mistake by you. Now you don't get that exception. First you declared a variable at class level, agreed. Again you redeclare the same variable at method level. Meaning you are making the scope of the variable to again method level. It's one of the commonly doing mistake. You get null pointer exception because driver pointing null. Right. This confirm till this point is understood. Here I created two functions, one for launching an application, one for closing an application, and I have introduced you one topic here, local variables and global variables. These two functions we are calling at test case level. As online team, please confirm till this point is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, to check admin login with valid data, what are the other components to be implemented? Generally, if I am writing a test case, for any project, if I am building test cases, first I'll make a rough outline like this, rough plan like this. So what is the first step I have to automate? Launch the application. What is the next step I have to automate? Login as admin and check admin module displayed or not. What is the next step? Log out. What is the last step? Close the application. These are the steps involved in admin login test case, correct? Now in these 4 steps, for launching the application, yes, the function is ready. I no need to write the code for this. Do you have any function for login as admin? This function not yet ready. No. Do you have any function created for logout? Logout? No. Did you create any function for closing the application? Yes. Now, after implementing these 2 methods only, I can able to complete my admin login test case. This kind of rough plan we have to make first. What are the steps we have to automate? What are the functions ready? What are the functions to be implemented? Implement, then implement the test case. Now, let me create the function for login. I want to create the code for login purpose. Okay? Right. You answer me, where you want me to develop that login function. I want to create one more method for login purpose. Where you want me to create that method?
In library, sir.
Library, rnhrm.library.
Perfect. rnhrm.library. All your project page classes maintain in the library package. Okay. So here we have to create another class. Yesterday I given this diagram in the note here. I'm giving a name, for example, login page. Yes, answer this.
Not required, sir.
No, sir.
Good. Main method not required. We are not going to execute the library classes. We are going to run only test cases. This appUtils class, all library classes, just to store the reusable methods, that's it. Any test case level only, we are calling the functions whatever you require. Right. So here I want to develop a method. Here I want to develop a method for login. Okay. I want to create a method for this login. See, I do not want to give a name like admin login because either admin login, employee login, procedure would be the same. Enter username, enter password, click login. So I want to just create a method with the name login. Same login I can use for admin login testing, employee login testing, also to check login with invalid credentials. Invalid credentials, so procedure same, right? Enter username, enter password, click submit. Instead of developing 3 methods, admin login, employee login, login invalid data, only one method, I want to reuse it for all the cases. Okay. To answer me, I am creating a function to enter username, password and click login button. You want me to make this function as a static or non-static?
Static, sir.
Non-static, sir.
Non-static.
Non-static.
We have to make it as non-static. Again, I repeat, only utility classes of type static. See, whatever the code you build here, will you able to use the same code in the other applications? Will this code will work on other application login code? Agreed Private Bank application also has login. Agreed Gmail also has login. Facebook also has login. But I cannot reuse this code there because properties are different, input data is different, expected behavior is different. A code you can use for any project. Remember, multiple times I am repeating, the code what you have built can be used for any other project, should be of type static. The code prepared for a particular application should be of type non-static, a simple tip. In other words, utility class function should be of type static, remaining all should be of type non-static. My function name here, for example, login. What are the inputs required for login purpose? Maybe employee login or admin login, login with invalid credentials. What are the input fields?
Username and password.
ID and password.
Username and password. The 2 arguments of type string. Here we have to build the code. We have to write the code for login. So what is the code we have to write for login here? Find the username element, enter the user ID value. This is the first step. Let's write the code. Tell me the code. Tell me the code. So you know the code, tell me the code.
Driver dot find element by
Driver dot.
find element by
Where is find element? This class is not understanding what is this driver. Do you have any details about the driver object in this class?
No.
In the login page class, do you have any details about the driver? It's not understanding what is driver. Driver object is available somewhere, in some other class, in some other package, not here. This program is not understanding what is this driver. Correct? I hope you are getting what I am saying. It's not understanding what is this driver. Because the driver object is not defined inside this class, not available in this class. It is available in somewhere AppUtils class. But I want to make use of the same WebDriver object here. You want me to redefine it again?
We can import that package.
One moment. What you said? Any static member of the class can be accessed with the reference of the class name. Any non-static member can be accessed by creating an object for the class. Okay, driver is a static or of non-static? This driver variable is of type static or non-static? Static. Where it is available? AppUtils class. So, and that too we have public here. As it is public, I can access in other packages, otherwise I cannot. How to access static member of any class?
class name
Class
Class name,
dot method.
either method name, not only method, variables also same, either method name or variable name. In the AppUtils class, we have a static member, driver. This I am accessing here. I'll give some ID value. Send keys. No. What is the user ID? What is the next statement? Later I'll update the properties. What is the next statement?
AppUtil.get.
Dot. Driver dot. Find the element. Password element properties. Send keys. Password. Now I want to click the login button. Tell me. Driver dot. Oh, no. AppUtils dot. Driver dot. Okay. Every time you want me to write like this in every method? In every method you want me to refer this? We can, it works. In every class, almost in the login page class, many times I am going to use the driver object. Why to refer from AppUtils class every time? While runtime, what is happening? What will happen? Runtime, whenever this code is getting executed, what happens? Every time it goes to AppUtils class, refer the driver object available in the AppUtils class. While executing the second statement, again it go to the AppUtils class, use the driver object available in the AppUtils class and come back here. Performance wise, it takes lots of time. Maybe you don't observe the speed much, but definitely internally what is happening, every time it is going to the AppUtils class, accessing the driver object and again coming back here. There will be a little delay in the test execution speed. And that too in every statement I do not want to write like AppUtils. Is there any other mechanism available here instead of writing the code in this way? Instead of referring from AppUtils every time, if I able to copy whatever available in the AppUtils into the memory of the login page class, directly I can use it, right? I repeat what I'm saying. Whatever present in the AppUtils class, one moment, whatever available in the AppUtils class, if I able to copy into the memory of the child class login page, directly I can able to use it, right? See here, I have something in AppUtils class. Some variables, variable 1, variable 2, method 1, method 2, something is available. This I wanted in the login page class. Say this is a login page class. You know every class will have a memory. If I able to copy this into the memory of the login page class, if I able to copy them into the memory of the login page class, directly I can use them, right? Directly I can use them, right?
Yes, sir.
For this, there is a process called, okay, I'll repeat. In Selenium, we have Chrome driver class, right? Chrome driver, one of the class. Firefox driver, one of the class. Safari driver, one of the class. Or accessing the properties of a superclass web driver. Similarly, array list, linked list, stack, vector, or accessing the properties of a superclass called list. Same way it is. We can able to copy the methods of one class into other class, or we can able to copy the variables of one class into other class. For this, there is a technique available in object-oriented programming. What it is? Say, the online team member answer this.
Inheritance, sir.
Repeat. Repeat whatever you said.
Inheritance, sir.
Inheritance. Inheritance is a process of importing or acquiring properties of one class into other class. Say this is a parent class, also can be called as a superclass. This can be called as a child class, also can be called as a subclass. Inheritance is a process of importing, acquiring properties of one class into other class. These inheritance can be implemented in Java using a keyword called extends. Chrome driver class extends WebDriver. Safari driver class extends WebDriver. Array list extends list. Stack also extends list. Same mechanism we can implement here. So what is this inheritance? Acquiring, copying, importing properties of one class into other class is called inheritance. This inheritance can be implemented in Java using a keyword called extends. Make a note of it. Inheritance. 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 You can note down this diagram. I'll give the notes. Inheritance. Take the notes about it. Take the notes about it. Inheritance. Inheritance is a process of acquiring properties of one class, acquiring properties of one class, acquiring properties of one class into another class. Acquiring properties of one class into another class. Inheritance is a process of acquiring properties of one class into another class. Continuation. Here, the class whose properties are acquired, the class whose properties are acquired, the class whose properties are acquired is called parent class, is called parent class. The class whose properties are acquired is called parent class. And the class that acquired the properties and the class that acquired the properties is called child class. The class that acquired the properties is called child class. See here, the class whose properties are taken is called parent class. What is the other name for parent class? This also can be called as a superclass. The class that taken the properties is called child class, also can be called as subclass. Other names, parent class, child class, superclass and subclass. The class whose properties are copied, imported, parent class. The class that copied the properties is called child class. Make a note. In Java, this inheritance can be implemented. This inheritance can be implemented using extends keyword. Using extends keyword. Remember, extend all in lowercase. E also in lowercase. Right. You answer me the solution now. What do you want me to do here? I want to make use of the app utils class variables and methods in the login page class. Yes, what do you want me to do?
After login page, we have to write the
Login page,
extends keyword.
After the login page, this login page extends
Extends. App.
app utils. Directly I can make use of the method. Because now whatever present in the app utils class copied into the memory of the login page class, and they are already copied into the current class memory, directly I can avail them. Every time you no need to refer app utils by using extends option. Now we build the code. Driver dot find the element by its ID, send keys, user ID. Password. Dot click. This is the code. Here I have to give the properties to identify the element. I am spying the properties of this element. This ID property here. I'm giving the password element properties. Login element properties. So enter username, enter password, click login. I'm not testing anything in this because same login I want to use for admin login, employee login, even to check login with invalid credentials. Okay, now I can call this function in the test case. First step, launch the application. Second step, login as admin. Login as admin. Already we build the code login function in the login page class, which is a non-static method. How to call a non-static method of a class? We have to create a object for the class. I'm creating an object for the login page class. Login page, some name equal to new login page. Then lp dot, what is the function name? Login. It is asking username and password. If I want to use the login for admin login testing, admin username, admin password. Same login I can call for by supplying employee username and employee password, also invalid username and invalid password. Multiple purpose I can make use of the same login. This time I am preparing the test case to verify admin login with valid credentials. I supply the valid data, the username and the password. Right. I'll comment this first. I'm running the code till this point. Close application, I'm not calling now. Launch the application, login as admin. We have the code till now. Okay. Is your code as of now testing anything? Is your test case is testing anything as of now?
Sir,
Yes, sir. Valid credentials.
No, sir.
No, we are supplying valid credential. Is admin module displayed or not? It is covering?
No,
No,
sir.
sir. No, sir.
No. We are just login as admin. That's it. We are writing a test case, verify admin login functionality by giving valid data. Test cases we are building. But as of now, my code is really not testing admin login working or not. So what I will do, I go to the same login page class. Here I will create one more function to verify really admin module displayed or not. I'm creating one more method. My method name is admin module displayed. My method name is admin. This is the name I am giving. You can give any other name also. Is admin module displayed? I'm creating this method to verify really admin module is displayed or not. You tell me how you confirm really admin module is displayed or not. This admin link is available only in the admin module, nowhere else. Now my code will be like this. If trivert dot find the element by the link text. What is that link text? Admin is displayed. If really admin module is displayed, admin link is available in the page. First time I am returning a value in my function. Return true. My function returning a value. Return true. If admin module is displayed, return true. If really not displayed, return false. Why is it showing an error here?
Sir, instead of void,
Because return
you'll
type
have
is
to write
void.
boolean.
Your function returning a boolean value, it should be of type boolean, no void. Here I created another function to check admin module is displayed or not. If displayed, your function return true, otherwise your function will return false. Now I'll go back to my test case. I'm calling the login by supplying admin data, admin valid data, admin login valid credential. What is expected? Login as administrator, that is the step, right? This code together, login as admin. What is expected? Admin module to be displayed. We have created a function to verify admin module displayed or not. The function is admin module displayed, returning a boolean value true or false. This function return value I am keeping in a local variable res. Hope you understood what I did. Login as administrator. Check admin module displayed or not. If displayed, really displayed, res will have? Res will have?
True.
True. Not displayed, res will have? False. Now my code will be like, if true, if res value is true, admin login test pass, otherwise admin login test fail. Launch the application, login as admin, check admin module displayed or not. If displayed, true. If true, test pass, otherwise test fail. Right. I have to create a function for even logout also. Logout is not yet implemented. I'm going back to this login page class, implementing one more function. Why I'm putting all the functions in the same class? Because all are login relevant. All are login relevant. I'm creating one more method, logout. Coming to the code here, find the element by the partial link text, welcome, and find the element by the link text, logout, and click. Logout also ready. Now I go back to my test case now. If really admin module is displayed, logout. Print admin module, admin login test case pass, logout. Otherwise, print test is fail. Finally, I want to close the application. Lastly, I am calling close application. This is your complete script now. Still some enhancements we have to do. We should not hard code the data at the test case level. In real time, we maintain this data in the XML file or in Excel file. We should not print the results in the console output. We have to generate some HTML test reports. In every test case, I do not want to call launch application, close application. I can configure preconditions and post condition. We'll see next level of enhancements. I'm running this code now. Launch the application, log in as admin, check admin module displayed. If true, displayed, test pass, log out, otherwise fail, and close the application. Done. Here in this program, I have demonstrated. Today, what I have demonstrated, how to create static methods, when to go for static, how to create non-static method, when to go for non-static, local variables, public variables, inheritance. With the help of all these concepts, we have implemented one test case by creating some static function, some non-static function. By calling the required static and non-static function, we have implemented one test case, admin login test case with valid credentials. Hope you understood this. If you have any questions on this, I will clarify. I will implement one more program today. Login with invalid credentials. Let me create one more test case now. Admin login test with invalid data something. Admin login test with invalid data. Before I start implementing test case, first I decide what are the steps I have to automate. First step, launch the application. Yes, code is available. I no need to write the code for this again. Step 2, log in with invalid credentials. Code available or not available? Code available or not available function?
Not available.
Available.
Available, sir.
Available, sir.
Same login function, only we are going to supply invalid username and invalid password. Same login function. While calling the login function, here we are calling the login function by supplying valid username, valid password. I call the same login function, but I supply invalid username or invalid password. Finally, code available. Okay. Yes, available. But here, login with invalid credentials. Check the error message. What is expected here? If I supply invalid data, what is expected?
Fail result.
The error message displayed or not. We have to check appropriate error message displayed or not. My question, do you have any method created to verify this? Is error message displayed?
No, sir.
Just now I created a method to verify admin module displayed or not. I don't have the code to verify error message is displayed or not. This we have to build. Then, what is the next step? What is the next step? No logout. We are testing with invalid data. Invalid data meaning, why? How come logout? We are getting an error message in the login page. Close the browser. Close the application. Yes, this code also available. To implement my second test case, verify login with invalid credentials. Only one function to be implemented, remaining all reusable code is ready. We have to implement a function to check appropriate error message displayed or not. This error message also related to login page. Here I am writing a function. Like previously, is admin module displayed. Here it is error message displayed. My function name is error message displayed. Enter wrong username, enter wrong password, click login. We have to check appropriate message displayed or not. Let me build the code to verify the message displayed or not. Here I'm declaring a variable, error message. I'll make Selenium to find out this element. I'll make Selenium to find out this element. This ID property here. The error message equal to driver dot find the element by its ID and get the text of the element. I'm reading the text property of this element, invalid credentials. Invalid credentials, it is the text property of this element. I'm reading the text property into the variable error message. If this text contains invalid, I want to make a decision. If this error message, I'm converting it to lowercase. If it contains invalid, I'm returning a Boolean value true. Otherwise, I'm returning a Boolean value false. I'll make the return type as Boolean. So now I created one more function to verify appropriate error message displayed or not. If displayed, if the error message contain invalid, true, otherwise false. Now this function also ready. Now all functions are available to implement the second test case, admin login with invalid credentials. Now I'll start implementing the test case. What is the first step? Launch the application. In the app utils class, we have the function launch app. I am supplying my application URL. See, in every test case, I am supplying the URL right now. Further, I'll change it. Instead of supplying the URL in every test case, you can define it as a static global variable. We'll discuss about that. First, today my intention is how to create user-defined classes, how to create the methods, how to call them. Next level of enhancement we'll do slowly one by one. First step, launch the Orange HRM application. Tell me what is the next step? Call the login function, which is a non-static function present inside login page class. I am creating an object for the login page class. Now I am calling that login function. I am supplying the invalid username and invalid password. Remember, as of now, I am hard coding the data. Next level we'll talk. Actually, this kind of data we put in Excel sheets. I prepare the test data in my Excel sheet. Maybe valid username, valid password, valid username, wrong password, wrong username, correct password, something. Your script should be able to access the data from Excel. But as of now, we do not know how to use Java to get the data from XML or Excel. We'll learn one by one, step by step. As of now, I hard-coded the value. Call login function with invalid credentials. What is expected? What is expected when I supply the invalid data? Admin module? No.
Error message.
Error message to be displayed. If really the error message is displayed, say actually the local variable will be used like this. Only within the function I wanted that Boolean variable, not in the other function. The function return value I am keeping a variable called RES if true. If the RES value is true, if the RES value is true, what is the output? System display appropriate error message test pass. Otherwise, system, I'm showing like this, not displayed appropriate error message test paid. What is the last step you tell me now? Launch the application, check login with invalid credentials. Verify appropriate error message displayed or not. If displayed, pass, otherwise fail. Lastly, we have to call the close application. Let me run the second test case now. It's showing appropriate error message, test case pass, and application was closed. So here, we created some utility class with appropriate functions. We created one library class. While implementing test cases, whatever the functions required to implement, corresponding functions are created and we have implemented the test cases. Today in the entire topic, again, we have discussed how to create function, how to call the functions, and what is a local variable, what is a global variable, and inheritance concept. Understood this, right? So I'll stop here today. The code, whatever I have implemented, I'll upload into our LMS. There are multiple files created. What I will do, I compress the entire code in one zip file. The zip file I'll upload into our LMS. Because there are many files, right? So as of now, I am putting in a notepad, I am uploading. Now, project structure meaning there will be multiple files belongs to one project. The whole project I'll compress the compressed file, upload into LMS. Okay, you refer the today video once again and build the script like this. Because you know, whatever we learned today is the base input for developing automation frameworks. So Monday, what I'll do, I'll create one more code on the Monday session. Add employee registration, creating a new employee. We create one more function and again we call the function so that we'll understand the topic of, okay, creating functions and calling function. Then here in every test case, we are calling launch application, close application, right? First test case, I'm calling launch application. In the second test case also, first I'm calling launch application. Finally, we are calling close application. No, in every test case, I do not want to call launch APP and close APP. If I have an option in programming, where I can configure, this is a precondition and it is a post condition. Before executing any test case, call launch APP. After executing every test case, implicitly call close APP. If I have some option like this, I no need to call launch application, I no need to call close application in every test case. In real time, we should not hardcode the test data at the script level. If I hardcoded, next time I want to run the test case with some other data, every time I have to modify the script. It's not correct. And as of now, we are printing the results in the console, which is a temporary buffer. In real time, we have to generate the HTML test reports. All these features are available in another free API called TestNG. So in the next session, to conclude this topic of creating functions and calling function, I'll implement one more test case, employee registration. Then I introduce you the topic of TestNG. Okay? Right, I stop here. And Monday we'll continue with the other topic. Thank you. Thank you, online team. We'll continue on Monday.
Thank
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So remember, this is how we write the code in real time. Previously, every time we are rewriting the code because just we are learning it. From here, we are learning the way how the code will be built in the real time companies. Thank you.